Welcome everybody back to the Create mod, and today we are talking about diesel or biodiesel and diesel generators. Now personally, I don't find that diesel engines are actually that good. That's to be honest. It's fun to work with, and it'll be fun to build machines and engines and workshops, whatever you want to do. But compared to a lot of other things that you can do, like the steam engines, even windmills. So I want to show you in a second what I mean by that. Behind me here, let me quickly have a look. So this is your diesel. Okay, if we take this there, there's your bucket of biodiesel. Okay, and we've got 3 diesel engines. So here we've got the normal one. That's your normal diesel engine. Then the modular one, so it's supposed to be an upgrade, and then we've got the huge diesel engines. It's got the pistons. So this works exactly the same like the steam engines with a piston. So if we take, let's say we click on, oops, no, that's not what I want to do. On there you can see the piston. So you would set exactly this up the same way for like with normal pistons and things. And they're expensive to make. So if we look at first of biodiesel, we need ethanol and seed oil. Okay, and to make the diesel engines, you look at these recipes. Here we got tanks, we got block of brass. So it's quite expensive, the things that you use. And you can see this one there. Now you need a diesel engine to make this one, so you need that one to make the next one. And then you've got this one here, which you need a steam engine. That's basically that piston with all of these things. So the recipes are pretty expensive. Okay. So you've got to keep that in mind. So it's fun to play with and to make and whatever the case may be, but it's expensive to make it. Even this, the amount of work to go in just to make this single bucket is a lot of work you'll do, so you've got to keep that in mind. So I think what we need to do is head back to the beginning over here. Now you guys remember in our last episode that we did with the biofuel and things like that? Okay, all of these things here to make biofuel. And at the time I wasn't sure and actually how or what to use it for and everything, and somebody told me, okay, but you can power your blaze burners. Now funny enough, usually when a blaze burner goes blue, that is when you're using that real fancy what do you call it, let me quickly, I can't remember the name now. Blaze. Okay, there's the normal blaze cake, and then you get the other one. Where is it now? I don't see it over here. No, I don't see it yet. You get the other blaze cake. Why don't I see it? Okay, well, it doesn't matter anyway. So this power was quite a bit. So this biofuel is only good for using it as fuel, but you can't really mix it with anything else as far as I can tell. Now, what we need to do, let's quickly do that. So, what I've done now, I've added another one of these machines here so that I can get more of the seed oil coming through, because you guys remember we need seed oil with ethanol. If I go back here quickly, biofuel. Okay, so there's your biodiesel. We need ethanol and seed oil to make biodiesel. Okay, so there I've got the seed oil coming through. So I threw in some more ingredients and just made it so it can go faster, so that we can get a better idea how this works. And here we got ethanol, and there we've got the seed oil. Okay, so you mix these two together, as you can see there, to get biodiesel, which is your fuel, which is now in there. But one thing that's a little bit of a pain. Okay, so you see here I've got these chests here packed with bone meal and the sugar to use with this. Now in order to use this to make the ethanol, you got to put that down, and you got to add your bone meal and your sugar. So the first time you do this, you actually need to lift up this lid. I found, because I activated everything, it didn't want to work. So I had to just lift the lid, close it, and then it activated. Then you see that little arm there, it's busy moving. So that goes from there, it moves down. So if we give it a second quickly, and then you'll see the ethanol come out. Okay, so that's going through, it's going through, it's going down. Okay, let's give it a second, and then you see the ethanol is going to come through here now. There we go. Goes in there. So I made 2 of them here just to speed up the process a bit. There you can see the ethanol coming through. So the one downside is with this, one of these is not enough. You're actually going to need quite a few of these to keep up with this, because obviously you can produce seed oil much faster. So I'm thinking probably at least maybe 5 of these, but the problem there is sugarcane. So for this thing in general, this whole farm, you need a very big sugarcane farm and a lot of bone meal to make the ethanol. If we... Oh, come on, pressing the wrong buttons now. You guys remember, yeah? You need sugar from there to mix with other ingredients just to make the biomass, to make the biofuel. But you actually don't need that section to make seed oil. Only if you want the biofuel. The seed oil is just seeds that's going to get crushed up to make your fuel going through here. And I see this thing's already pulled up. See how far we go. There, it's busy going there. Another thing I noticed, this thing makes a plant oil as well. If you look into this basin, you'll see there, plant oil. That's why I've got this filter on here to go out, because the plant oil you can't use to make the biodiesel. Okay, so let's carry on down here. Now we've got ethanol coming out. We got our seed oil. You don't have to heat it, you just got to mix it. So you can see we've got the mixer coming on here. So as soon as that ethanol comes through, there it comes. This is going to mix, and then the biodiesel comes out. Now this thing has been running the whole time here. I haven't used any of this. This is very, very slow. Basically 1 bucket, I think, of ethanol converts into 1 bucket of biodiesel. If I'm thinking correctly here. Because it's very slow, so you're going to have to mass produce quite a bit of this. But at the same time, the engines actually don't use that much. 1 bucket can last a long time. You can see I actually filled this up. And you can see how much has been used since I filled these things up there. Not much. Not even 1,000. So all depending on how fast and how much you use of it. Now this thing, I can see the power I've got on here is on 1. That's as low as possible. Now these are a little bit tricky. Okay, so first of all, here we've got our normal generator. That's the modular one, so that's supposed to be better. And then the piston one. Now the first thing you can do with the normal generator is silencer. So you can add a silencer to it, which is going to obviously make it quiet. Or you can add a turbocharger, but it does increase the power output. And this one, you can't add a turbocharger, but you can add a silencer to it. So it doesn't affect anything except that it makes it quiet, because you can actually hear, if you consider that noise, that's what a diesel engine actually sounds like. And this thing, you can't do anything with it. So I'm going to put first the turbocharger on here. And you can see you basically got 2000 SUs, but your RPM is 192. So So if you take that out, it drops to 96. You understand what happens now? So in other words, the turbocharger increases your rotational speed and not your power that you're receiving. So it's like, what do you call it? That speed, what's the name now? Speed controller? This here, rotational speed controller. We take that. Usually you would use this to increase your speed of your machines and things like that. Now I think this basically does the same thing. Okay, so we'll leave that silence on there because it makes a noise. Now we silence this one. There we go, less noise. Now look at the difference. 2000 and a 96. 2096. So you can add the turbo onto here, but you can't add it onto this. Which is pretty strange because that's supposed to actually be better than this one. And the other difference is now you can see as well the fuel. Okay, so here we got the biodiesel in here. The normal one, the fuel comes from the bottom. With this one, comes from the top. Pretty strange. But you can also add on. I don't know if this is going to work on here now like this. No, that's a modular one. I see you can even add the modular one onto it. But there we got one. And you can add on all these. Now obviously one of these produces the 2000. So if you were to add, I think that like that, that should, let's see, is this going through here or not? Now depends on how far this thing is going to be pumping now. Didn't I connect the power? Okay, we need to increase the power a little bit here. There we go. Let's see. Is that going? There we go. 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10,000 SU there. Okay. Now you can do the same with this, but they work in this direction. Excuse me. So technically you would actually take that out and then add on your power there. So that's all you would say, what's the word I'm looking for? You can place them together and whatnot, and then it adds on the power. But now look at the power difference here. They're showing 10,000. Okay, 96, let's see here. That's 12. Oh, let's take up that last one there. Okay, 10,000. Exactly the same. So let's see if we take out that and add the generator there. Let's see what's still exactly the same. You have to silence all of these. See, there's a lot of extra things you do. It's fun to do with, but it costs you a lot of extra stuff to do it with. Now, this one, yeah, this is supposed to be the main one. Now you can see the power output, 8,000, and the RPM is 128. So this RPM is between these two. If you use a turbocharger on the basic engine, but it gives you the most SUs. Now, if you build a full-scale windmill, you take a windmill. Okay, let's go here. You've got your where is it now? Windmill bearing, and you're using your windmill sails. Now, a full windmill is 128 of these sails, for instance, and you produce the exact same power that you've got over there. But the difference now, because this produces that much power, you got to do all of this stuff down there just to get one of these working, to get this fuel. So it's more compact in the end. You can build a big building, if you've got enough of the fuel to have a whole bunch of these. Let's see if we can, not that way. I need to put it on like that. And the other one on there. Because you can rotate it. You check here. Let's do that. So you can rotate it whichever way you want to go, obviously. So it works exactly like a normal piston, steam engine. But we need more. Hang on, and you got to click on the edge over there. No man, we need. Okay, now this thing is being difficult with me now. See, now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Now you got to do that, and then add one in there, and then add that on there, and then do that one there. Okay, let's see now. Still exactly the same. So let's increase this to maximum and see what happens. Okay, 96, 10,000, so that's all the same. So it doesn't matter how much fuel's coming through here. You're just going to use your fuel much faster. That's all exactly the same. Everything there is nothing's changed. And that's also nothing's changed. Pretty strange. It's got more fuel coming through, but the power doesn't change much. Okay, now the other difference is here. You click on that. Now you can see rotation. So you can also do your different rotations. You've got to click on the side here to add your intake for your fuel over there. So let's see if we change. Put a pipe on there. Will this make a difference in any way? No? No difference. Why am I doing something wrong here? Okay, well, let's do this. Okay, power is used, everything's still the same. This side. Does that change at all? No? Everything is exactly the same. Okay, let's change this out for the turbocharger. Okay, power stays the same, its use is a bit more. Okay, let's try. No, not that. I want to take these and see what the difference is here. Okay, that's the same, that's the same. So that's generating power in that direction. But it doesn't change. Okay, that's the same. All the same. Okay, well, I don't think this is something. I would do it for the fun of it, in a world, maybe one or two little engines or something like that. But on a big scale, I don't think it'll be as efficient. You can rather build a couple of windmills or steam engines rather. If you guys remember the steam engines, I think that's down there, yes. There is less work in the steam engines compared to building a diesel engine. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know, and then have you used diesel engines before? Or what's your thoughts on what's the best power to generate? But that is going to be it for today, guys. So I hope we all learned something today, and I will see you again in our next episode. Cheers.